Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to run you through exactly how I craft an item. The only thing I have done is I have made the base, enchanted it to plagued, and filled out the 4 positive, 1 negative enchantments or affixes. Now, when you go to make an item, you have to keep in mind that you can only have one of each specific mod type at a time on an item. So, as you can see, I have infected enemies have less stagger resistance. As you can see next to that roll, there's a sword. The sword means offensive. So, if I were to roll any one of these 3, they cannot, will not, turn into another sword roll. Same thing with all the rest of these. So if I wanted to keep the ice damage and I rolled this infected roll, this will not turn into another elemental roll. You can only have one of these at a time. The only group that you can have more than one of the enchantment or affix of is a miscellaneous, which looks like this right here. So this small diamond or dot is a miscellaneous roll. This dot is the only affix that you can roll more than one of. All the rest of them, you can only have one. So, keeping that in mind, I am a physical build. I do no plague damage, just bleed. So, I want to change this ice into physical damage increase. So, if you go to the main Discord, you go to the builds channel, Snaps, one of the devs, have been nice enough to give us a full list of the enchantments, as you can see here. So I'm crafting a plague item, so I'm gonna want to roll down to the plague section of plague enchants. I'm gonna go down to armor, which is what I'm rolling. So if you look at this chart, since on my item, as you can see here, I already have a health, I already have a defensive, and I already have an offensive roll. So according to this chart, the only things that I can roll when I roll this is miscellaneous, focus, another elemental roll, movement, or critical, because there is already an offensive, health, and defensive. So none of the offensive, none of the defensive, and none of the health can roll. So I'm just going to keep hitting this until we hit fizz damage. Perfect. Now that I've gotten fizz, I want a different health roll. What I'm looking for is regenerate health in combat. Like before, I now, on this table, cannot roll any offensive, any elemental, and any defense rolls, because they're already on here. So I'm going to hit this until I get health regen in combat. Perfect. Now, same thing. I'm gonna roll this offensive roll until it hits thorns. Damn, this thing does not want to hit fucking my thorns roll, man. That is the minimum roll, so we're not gonna keep it. So I'm either gonna hit damage on damage taken or thorns. Actually, we can live with that. So we're gonna keep that. So now I am completely done with my item. I'm no longer gonna roll the affixes because I got the rolls I want. Now, when you gotta keep in mind when you do the rolls, you do not want to have two miscellaneous rolls because you want to block as many of these rolls as possible to lower the chances of you getting your roll that you want. So the more of these that are blocked, the better. So now the next step, I'm going to take myself over to Miss Eleanor.
Life and
Infuse. And what do I have in that other chest? Okay, we're not going to do that. And we are going to put basically any jewel we want for tankiness sake. I'm just gonna do regen.
have you checked on the house?
And I'm not all the way done with the story on this world yet, so this is as far as I go, but after this step, you're gonna want to upgrade it to whatever tier you're at, or whatever tier you can get to raise the base armor value, and you're going to Exalt Slam. And you're done. On the bottom of this video, in the description, I will have a link, just in case you do not participate in the Discord. I will be posting the Google Doc spreadsheet of all the enchantment rolls that you can possibly roll on both Magic and Plague. And I will be posting basically my Crafting 101 Google Doc as well in the description below. If you stayed the full 9 minutes, I appreciate you. Love you guys. See you in the next one.